Hi, Amy. Just making sure everything is on screen. Let's see if I do this a little bit this way, maybe. That looks pretty good. Straight enough, right, for tonight? All right, everybody. It is 6:30 on Tuesday, which means it's time for another episode of Tiger Stamp Club Live, where we make great cards. And guess what? I have another great card for you tonight. I do believe. Let me just say hi to people that I might see that are here. I already said hi to Amy. Hi, Gloria. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining in. Hi, Linda. All right, here we go. Just very few announcements for tonight that they just announced and I posted about earlier. This weekend is National Scrapbook Day, I guess, on Saturday. And so for Friday and Saturday this week only, if you place an order on Friday or Saturday, they're going to give you double rewards. And so you guys know that there's a brand new program regarding rewards. And so for every order that you place that is $20 or higher, you get 10% in rewards. It's like a coupon that you can use on a future order. And so this weekend, Friday and Saturday, it's double rewards. So you also have to opt into this rewards program. There's a little alert that pops on when you log into StampinUp.com. And it will ask you, do you want to participate in rewards? And who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to participate in rewards? Free things? Yeah, I'm signing up. So make sure you opt in for that. They also announced today that there is a easy for me to say, right? A starter kit special beginning May 6th when the catalog goes live. And so $99 is our regular starter kit price, and usually you can order $125 worth of items in your kit. Well, starting May 6th and through the rest of May, for $99, you'll be able to order $165 worth of items. And these are all items that you select. No pre-selected items. So it's anything that you want out of any current catalog. So it's a really great deal if you're at all interested in signing up for a starter kit. Now would be the time, or actually not now, May 6th through the end of May would be the time to do that. That's how I got started. That's how I got suckered in. I signed up for one of those starter kit specials, and now look at me. All right, let me see. All right. So, also I wanted to announce, here is the brand new catalog, if you haven't seen it. It goes live May 6th, and it has lots of good stuff. I can only show you the cover until it goes live, and then we can look inside after that. Lots of cool stuff in here. If you need one, you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you normally work with, and you need one, just let me know. If you do have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you work with, I'm sure they'll be glad to send you one. All right, let's take a look at tonight's card. I'm looking over here to see if I'm on screen, if I am holding this correctly. I saw this and I thought, okay, I have to make that. It's kind of got a country chic look. Is that a thing? Country chic? I thought it was very pretty, and I said, I want to make that for my people. And as you guys know, if you comment during tonight's live, then you will, your name will go into a drawing to win the card that I'm actually making tonight. It will look pretty similar to this, I hope. And if you share tonight's video, then your name will go in twice. You just have to comment that you shared it because Facebook doesn't always let me know who has shared what. All right. First of all, let's take a look at the items that we're going to be using. I am using the Beautiful Gallery Suite. And notice I didn't say bundle because a suite usually has more than one bundle included. And that is the case this time. This is the Gallery Blooms bundle. It is in that Beautiful Gallery Suite. And it has these floral images and these corresponding dies. So we're going to be using that tonight. And I'm just looking at, oh yeah, there it is. I was like, where's the die that I need? It's there. We are going to actually be stamping this little floral image and then die cutting it with, where'd it go? Oh, no, with that little die there. So hopefully I'll be able to locate that in a minute. Also included in the Beautiful Gallery Suite is this Beautiful Motifs bundle. And so you've got your sentiments here and then a couple of design elements. And we're going to be using this one. And then we're going to be using this die cut right here to fancy up our card a bit. All right, so that is that. Also included in this suite. Now, you guys know that a suite in Stampin' Up! World gives you one number and then you get all the stuff, you know, as opposed to just entering in the numbers individually. So included in the suite is this new damask. I don't know how to say this word. I should have looked it up. Is it damask? Damask? I don't know. That sounds like a bad word. I don't know how to say that, so you guys will, I'm sure you guys will have to let me know how to say that. But that is a brand new embossing folder. We're also going to be using these pressed flower motifs, which are kind of metallic looking, goldish metallic looking embellishments. And then we're going to be using paper, DSP, from this 6x6 set. And now this is just a beautiful, hi Kelly, hi Susan. A beautiful new 6x6 DSP set. So on one side, this is called Beautiful Gallery DSP. And on one side, oh, I forgot to show you. On this Beautiful Gallery or Gallery Blooms bundle, you also have this frame DSP frame die that cuts out frames, and I think that's why they paired it with this DSP, because I've seen a lot of people just like cut out frames from this DSP and put on a sentiment, and then they have a beautiful card to send. But let's take a quick look. It is 12 different designs. Actually, if you count the back, it's 24 different designs, and you get 4 of each double-sided sheet. So you get 4 of these, and one side is pictorial, and the other side is some sort of is a design, an actual design, or a design. And then, so let's just take a look. Here's a very pretty rose. I think that's a rose. This looks like a map, a subway map or something. I love this one. And we're going to actually be using this one on our card. There you go. So I think this is really pretty. This would make very good sympathy card. I love that one too. Masculine cards. And feminine cards. Kind of reminds me of a famous painting, but I don't know who that's by, but I kind of remember seeing something like that. So that is the Beautiful Gallery DSP. And then also in that suite is this basic beige classic ribbon. We're going to be using that as well. So all that stuff that I've mentioned so far is in that suite. You use one number, you can get the whole thing. Or you could just get, you know, if you like entering numbers, you can just enter away and get all those individually. And I just dropped all my pieces, so hold on. All right, so we are going to begin with a card base of crumb cake. That is your basic or standard size. And don't worry about the measurements because I have a recipe that I'll be posting tomorrow. I have to wait till tomorrow, or sometimes I can do it tonight. Depends on how late I stay. So don't worry about measurements. I will post and email out the recipe with the measurements tomorrow. Really, there's not that much. This is a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this into my inside just to get it out of my way. Hey, Jill. Damask. Is the emphasis on the first syllable? Oh gosh, I should look these things up, but Damask. All right, so that is on the inside. Now I am going to take this piece. Oh, before I do this, this is a full-size piece of basic white, and I'm going to emboss it to be in the background, but I'm going to emboss it larger than I need and then cut it down, because sometimes when you cut it to size and then emboss it, it messes with the size and it's not exactly right. And so we're going to emboss and then cut it down. But before we do that, I am going to stamp this floral image, and I am using pecan pie as my ink for my floral image, and I'm going to stamp it twice because we use 2 of those. There we go. And let me just clean that off, because any brown has red in it, and it does stain your photopolymer stamps if you don't clean it off right away. Also, you can pre-stamp it with Versamark, which I meant to do, but I didn't. And anyway, if you want to cut down on the staining, just clean it right away, or pre-treat it with Versamark. All right. I was just like, where is my Mossy Meadow? I think I'm only going to do light Mossy Meadow because it was pretty dark on my one that I did. And it's going to be pretty dark anyway, but luckily these leaves get covered up. I'm just going to quickly color this in. Don't pay too much attention to the leaves. It's the flowers that we see most of. I feel like the Wizard of Oz. Don't pay attention to that man behind the curtain. I am the great and powerful Oz. Yeah. Probably should even go with an even lighter green. But that part we cover up pretty successfully. We are going to use Calypso Coral and Cajun Craze to color in our flowers. And so I'm going to start with light Calypso Coral. That's the lightest color. And I'm having to use the bullet end because, did you see my brush end? It's all messed up. So I went through my inventory today of all my markers because I'm fixing to have class, and noted which brush ends were messed up and which were okay. And I have several that I need to order. But the main reason why I went through my inventory is because they were all in my shelf and I knocked them over. I knocked them over. And so now I'm going to use, let's see, those both are dark Cajun Craze. That's fine. Oh, here's my light Cajun Craze. So I'm going to use a little bit of light Cajun Craze just to get some darker color in here. And this is really small enough that you don't really have to worry too much about it. You can just see that I'm dotting it on, and then I'm going to come back with that lighter color again and kind of blend it in a little bit. Oh, forgot. Oh no. Hopefully. Yes, this Cajun Craze or this Calypso Coral is on my buy again list. So you can see that I dotted that in, but if I come back here now with this lighter color and go over it and just push that darker color around, it gives a little bit of a blended effect. That's why I love coloring with these alcohol markers. And it's so much nicer than just coloring in one color where your flowers look flat, you know. Nothing in nature, you know, kind of like these leaves. Nothing in nature is exactly one color, I don't think. And again, this is small enough that you really don't have to worry too much about it. All right, I did all that because I'm going to bring over, actually, yeah, I'm going to bring over my cut and emboss machine, and I'm going to cut these out and I'm going to emboss. So here is my cut and emboss machine. Just worried about those things now. Let's do the embossing. Oh, you know what? I don't think, hold on one sec. I need to get another plate. Because my magic plate, let me make sure my sandwich is right for embossing. Yes, I don't need this too. I just need 2 plates. My magic plate is too thick for the embossing folder to go through, so. And I don't really need to go back through, but let's take a look at this. See if we can tell that it has all this texture. Can you see that? So pretty. Hopefully you can see that. And now we're going to die cut. And I do need my number 2 plate. And I am going to use my magic mat. And here is the flower. Oh, look, I'm off screen, sorry. Let me scoot over here a little bit. Oh no, I moved it. I can tell I moved it before. Let me just scoot it over just a little bit. I mean, it's not like you haven't seen anybody die cut before, but I just feel the need to show it every now and then. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. So there's one. I mean, we're here, right? I might as well. You guys have big plans for National Scrapbooking Day? I did hear that, I don't know if Carol Patterson, hey Mary, and Mary are going to a scrapbooking retreat this weekend, I believe. So I know they have big plans. All right. Put that back. Done with this, I believe. And now I need to get my trimmer, which is in the drawer here. And this embossed piece, I like this side, and so I'm going to cut on this side. It is a full 5.5, which is the same size as my card base. And then it is 4 inches across. That's the side I like, so I'm going to cut the other side. So I'm cutting about 1/4 inch off. There we go. There's that. And then I also need to cut this DSP down. I like the bright on the side. Okay, so I need it to be, let me look here at my notes. I need my DSP to be 3 3/8. So 3 1/8 2/8 3/8. So I'm going to cut it that way. Oh, I think I just cut it the wrong way. Oh, well. I did just cut it the wrong way. Here, I have another one. Give me a second to find it. I guess it's a good thing we have multiple sheets. Here it is. All right. I meant to cut it like this, and I like that side better. So, okay, 3, 1 8, 2 8, 3 8s. 3 and 3 eighths by 5.5. There we go. Oh, you know what? I forgot I have to die cut this piece. Shoot. Okay. I am going to, you know that grunting sound that you just heard? That was me bending over. Sad but true. Sad but true. I need this neutral piece right here. I have too many moving pieces tonight. Where is my mat? Oh, right here. All right. This neutral piece and this frame. And I am going to kind of slide it over so I'm saving as much as possible. Because there's a chance I could use this piece on something else. Amy and all the Missouri people, I'm sure you guys have something big planned for your National Scrapbooking Day, right? So when this die cuts, you get this inner piece, you get a small frame, and you get a large frame. So I'm going to be using the small frame on tonight's card. So I have these two pieces that I can set aside and use. Oh, you can't see now. Hold on. Let me move everything out of the way. I kind of zoomed in a little bit more, and I just got to get used to that. So when you die cut using this frame die, you get those three pieces. And I'm going to be using this smaller piece. And so I'm going to set these aside, and I'll have those ready for a different project sometime. All right, I think that's all the pieces that I need. And so we can assemble here. And this one happens to, we're going to glue this like that so that you just have this strip of the card base showing over here. And it's flush at the top and the bottom and on the right. So let's glue that on. And then I have some more stamping that I need to do. And of course, my glue doesn't want to come out. Oh, there it goes. Now it wants to come out a lot. I didn't realize I was so close to being done with this one. All right, I think that'll be good. We'll kind of slide it around a little bit before I... All right, so I'm just making sure that it's flush on the right and as even as possible at the top. And unfortunately, a lot of this damask gets covered up, but we know it's there. It's like good underwear, right? Like I said. All right. Now, for this one, I'm just going to use this as a quick little reference because I'm going to stamp and we're going to heat set this little floral image. And so before I do that, I'm going to get my embossing buddy, rub that down. And let's see, ink this up in Versamark. And I'm just kind of using this as a guide to show me where I need to stamp. So the first one is going to be something like right about there. And then I'm going to ink it up again. And the second one, I'm going to use a mask. I mean, not a mask. This is going to go like that. And so I don't want anything below there. I'm just going to make this one a little bit lower, but I don't want it to stick below where the frame is. And this is just, you know, texture in the background anyway. So hopefully that works. I'm going to bring my tray over. And we're going to heat emboss this with white Wow embossing powder. And for some reason that did that to me on my example, but again, we cover up a lot of this stuff at the bottom, so I'm not too worried about how that did not get a good impression right there. I'm not worried about that at all. Gets covered up. I'm kind of doing all the things on camera today. I usually do all this stuff prior, but I just love how this white embossing on this wood grain, how it comes out. So I kind of just wanted to show it off. A little bit right there. Come on, melt. Did you melt? There it goes. There it goes. All right. I think that's good. All right. So there is that little floral image stamped twice in the background. And so then when we put this over, that just becomes a really pretty thing to look at for our card in the background, adding texture behind all our floral die cut pieces. All right, so now I can add, here, I'm just gonna do this since it's sitting right there. This can go on now. And it's about 1/2 inch on one side and 1/4 inch of this white embossing on the left side. Not exact, but sort of what it is there. So a little bit more on this side, a little bit less on this side. And then this is going to be, popped up. Oh my gosh, that was upside down on my desk. All right, so now, whoops. Sorry, didn't need to use the brush. I'm gonna put all my embossing stuff away. That's all good. All right, now let's pop up. All right, I need to slip in from this side some things. So I'm only gonna put dimensionals on the top and across this side and maybe a little bit on the bottom. I'm going to keep it to this side and the top mostly, which is now this side. So let's put on some dimensionals. And I'm going to go ahead actually and put some on here, but I don't want to remove the backing on this side. But of course it's coming off. It knows I don't want it to come off. So anyway, I'm going to remove this. Keep those on. Come on, stay on there. And that way I can take them off when I'm ready. There. All right. Now it's just arranging. So this piece is going to kind of go right there. Oh, I forgot to tell you about this piece. So I die cut this piece from the Beautiful Motifs die set. So it's this piece right here. And we are going to do some surgery on this piece to give us all our little pieces that we need for our background here. So this is going to sneak in here like that. See if I can. Oh, I've got my fine tip. Let's hope that works. My little fine tip applicator gun thingy-majig. Let's see if that works. Yay. And so I'm just dotting on some glue here quickly. And so I'm going to just slide that back there in somehow. So that sticks out like that. Don't want it to go off the card, but I do want it to be there. And then Did I? Yeah, I did. I'm going to take a mini dimensional and just put on this. And so I'm just going to angle that right about there like that. And let's see. I need this guy. To go something like this. We're going to do that. Let's do that. And I'm going to overlap that. Even though now that it's dry, it looks a little bit better. I just don't like the coloring of that leaf. So like with what we always do is we just cover it up with something else, right? And then I need a piece to stick out. And I have even more options here. I need a piece to stick out right here. So let me dot that up. I love it. One little die is creating all these little fronds in the background. And then this piece, hopefully this catches back up because someone just tried to call me on my phone, which always interrupts the signal. So hopefully we're back. Sorry about that, people. So this is going to stick out here. And then I have these two big leaves that I've done out of mossy metal that are going to come in here. And so this one's going to go like that. And this one's going to come out like that. All right, let's glue that down. And glue this down. It's going to stick out this way a little bit. And then I have this little piece right here just to add a little bit extra. And it's going to go something like that. Okay, it doesn't look like much because we are going to... Oh wait, I have more embossing, dang. If I can find my little... I know it was here. In that... All right, well, I'll just get another piece of Cajun Craze. Oh, here it is, right here. I wish I would have done this earlier, but I've got my sentiment here. It says, thank you for everything. just thought I was done with all my embossing stuff. So let's do that. The embossing buddy. Let's ink it up in Versamark. And I am going to try and get this pretty straight. Now I know why I try and do everything beforehand, because it's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking to do all this on camera, because what if it doesn't come out, right? Let's get a little bit more right there. Hopefully that adheres. Yeah, that's better. Get my little brush, get rid of that. That looks good. Plus, I can't talk and do this at the same time. So I'm always thinking, oh, dead air, dead air. That's exciting television, Manny. All right. That out of the way again. Put that there. Let's heat it up. It always seems like magic when you're doing heat embossing. All right, and I'm just gonna trim that. Could use scissors, but I'm not very good at cutting straight. So I'm gonna bring my trimmer back over, and we will trim this up. Again, this is Cajun Craze color here. That's pretty straight. Before we put that on, we're going to get our ribbon. Feed it through. Set this aside. Get this ribbon, feed it through. And this is the worst thing of the whole shebang, is tying this knot with my man fingers. So I always have to use a lot more than I think I need. But I really thought this was a pretty country looking card. Really not all that involved. Has 6 die cuts on it. A little bit of heat embossing. It's got all the stuff, but see, here's where my man fingers come into play. But I will win. Hold on. Just trying to see, is that gonna go that way? If you just go slow, it usually turns out. See, I told you. It's turning out. All right, and I'll trim those ends off. Whew. And then this I think I can, do I still have some backing on here? Yeah. And I can probably sneak one back there, so that corner gets held down. There we go. And then we're gonna put this on just flat because that frame is already popped up. So all I need to do is put it right about here. Oops, I bent this a little bit, didn't I? Hold on, see if I can sneak this guy back out the way it's supposed to be. There we go. There we go, that looks good. All right, now the last thing is adding these pressed flower motifs. And so I'm gonna put there's two different sizes. There's a larger size and a smaller size. And I'm gonna put a larger one there and a smaller one there and a smaller one up here. Now let's take a look at what we think about this. See if we still think it's pretty. So there is our kind of country chic thank you card that you can send to somebody and let them know how much you appreciate them. I'm sure you guys, you know, when I think about that, several people come to mind that I could send this to. Thank you for everything. And wouldn't they be just thrilled to get a card like this in the mail from you? So yeah, that is my card for tonight. Let me quickly clean up here just a bit and get most things back into place. All right, I'll clean that all up later. But there is our card for tonight. Again, it is the beautiful gallery suite. It's brand new in the brand new catalog that will go live next week, May 6th, I believe, is when it's going live. Is that Tuesday? I don't remember. I don't know if that's Tuesday or what. But yeah, thanks for being here, guys. I do appreciate it. And remember, I will go through the comments, or let me just take a quick look here. Barbara, good job on the bow. Thank you, Barbara. You guys know, how hard that is. Nancy's here. Betty's here. Hi, guys. So yeah, a kind of a countrified, beautiful card. And someone is going to win that in just a few minutes. And then tomorrow I will post the recipe that you can download and also email that out if you're on our email list. So thanks for being here, guys. I had a lot of fun putting this together. I thought it was super pretty with this white embossing on that wood grain, especially. That's probably my favorite part, and that's probably why I thought this was a pretty card. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys, and I will see you next time for another great card. Have a great day. Bye.